Hi, beautiful. Today I finished the next round of Reiki group Mastership and Teacher program with Nourished Energy. So this was the 2024 class. And I just wanted to share a little bit about the journey and the experience. And I also wanted to share a little bit about why you would even participate in a Reiki Master and Teacher program. Hopefully debunk some of those myths for you and what Reiki Master actually means. So firstly, just to share with you that I've studied and trained in different lineages of Reiki and have also experienced for myself different types of mastership programs. So I know some are quite short, a couple of days, and then you have other ones that can be very long. And then there's some kind of in between, in the middle. So through our particular lineage, or the lineage that I practice with and associate with, I really love the way that our students experience the Reiki Mastership and the teacher program. The reason being is that you really go through this journey of what it means to get to a point, not where you necessarily achieve self-mastery, but you are definitely on the pathway of it. And when we reach graduation, it is not an ending. It is not, a certificate that I have become a master. I'm a master healer. I have self-mastery. It's more that you are sharing that you have committed to yourself. You are committed to a journey of self-mastery, of master healer. And what does this even mean? So level 1 and level 2 Reiki are quite distinct, right? So in level 1, Shoden, you are experiencing a rite of passage, I guess, to learning the foundations of what Reiki actually means. It is essentially really important at level 1 that the student is learning how to connect to Reiki, understands what that is, understands the importance of self-healing. And this really underpins the journey that they go through. And this is super important at level 1, that a self-healing practice it becomes a part of their practice and becomes something that they practice regularly. Now, they're also introduced to how to practice Reiki and hold space for others, and also on things. Perhaps it's, on crystals, practicing Reiki on a space, on their plants, on their food, their pets, other things. Then level 2, we move into deepening that practice, that self-connection, but also the connection to Reiki, intuition, being able to hold space for others, not just in person, but really understanding what Reiki means, the energy of the entire universe, universal life force energy, and that ability to transcend time, space, reality. And level 2 is a practitioner level. So we move into this really taking that responsibility of holding space for others to that next level, not just for family and friends, but how can we do this professionally? We're also introduced to the sacred symbols of Reiki. So we begin this journey and connection to symbols, which is such a gorgeous part of the toolkit, working with Reiki, just as, some of the tools that we learn in level 1, whether they be Reiki practices, meditations, breathing, breath work, and also the precepts, our Reiki principles. Level 2 takes that all to another level. But they're very structured, formal in their teachings, and the student really is held in a very formal training experience. Level 3, it's moving more into the journey of self. So whilst there is structure, there is also an incredible amount of freedom for the student to really explore what Reiki means for them, what their self actually means, what their connection to all there is means, what divinity means for them, what, really that understanding about returning to source, returning to the truth of who you are. It's that also that element of letting go and surrendering, which is a big, big part of Reiki, because we learn so much formally in level 1 and 2, and then we're almost learning in level 3 to let go of everything that we have learned. And we are learning to let go of all of that because the outcome of your mastership is to realize that you are actually all that you need. And during the group mastership graduation today, one of the students said exactly that. She said, I've just realized that I am everything that I need. I was so overwhelmed because, it doesn't matter how much I can tell my students things like that. And we all hear it, right? But going through the mastership, because it is such a period of time, and sharing that and being vulnerable, allowing yourself to be seen through that period of time of, 6-7 months, however long it can take, whether you're doing it privately or whether you're doing it in the group, but especially more so doing it as a group, because you are also really needing to be vulnerable with others, not just yourself. You're really needing to allow yourself to be seen and to be held, and really get to understand what it means to feel unconditionally loved. Because as a group, not only are you committing to yourself that you are going to hold yourself in unconditional love, but you're also going to hold one another. And truly, this is what being a Reiki master is all about. It's about being able to hold ourselves on this journey of life and being committed to showing up, to learning more about who I am and learning to love her no matter what. That's, really, really important part of becoming a practitioner, and also then becoming a teacher. So why do we need to do the Reiki mastership? What if you don't want to teach, or you don't want to even be a practitioner? I always think that it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't matter if you're not ready to practice on others or not ready to practice, or, as a teacher. The Reiki mastership is so much more than just Reiki. It's really about yourself. It's a journey of self. Reiki obviously underpins that journey. And of course, you have to be committed to, daily practice and committing to deepening your practices, as a Reiki facilitator, even for yourself, and using that. So you have to love Reiki, right, as a modality, and believe in it and trust in it and want to deepen that connection using it. But you absolutely don't have to feel like you want to share it with others at all in any capacity. However, I always say to my students, please just be open to the opportunity one day that you might want to share it. And, you know, it's beautiful at the end of a graduation when the student who had no desires to share it actually sits there and says, I feel like I just want to share this with others now. It's really amazing to witness that, because it shows that they feel ready to do that, to actually they feel really ready to share that with others, because they have seen just how much it has changed their life. And I know how that feels, because it's exactly how it was for me. I just couldn't wait to share it. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't that I knew how, or I didn't know what I was going to do, but I just knew that I wanted to. There was this very strong desire to share this incredible gift of love with others. I also just want you to remember that, and just be open that having Reiki as this gift, even if it's just for you, if somebody is wanting to learn Reiki, even for self-healing, what a gorgeous gift that you have as a Reiki master to be able to share that with somebody, to teach them how to do this practice that is so special, so life-changing. And, you know, whether you see it as this practice, it's, you know, a meditation technique, whether you see it as a spiritual technique, a healing technique, like whatever you see it as, and however it has helped you and changed you, and however you use Reiki for yourself, I want you to remember that you have this option, this opportunity, this ability and capability within you to pass that on to somebody else who might be in need of that, and who is asking for your help or your guidance, and with that. So you might formally teach them, or it might be informal, but most of all, whenever we are stepping into this role as Reiki Master Teacher, we are really all teachers, because we are here living examples of how Reiki has helped us, how Reiki holds us, and also how Reiki has helped us remember who we really are. I hope that this has given you a little bit of insight into the journey that is the Mastership program, and why you might want to complete it. It's an incredible mentorship, apprenticeship, a journey of self-discovery, self-awareness. And the way someone described it today, a student described it as, we really have this full toolkit now as graduates of living our life. You know, a real toolkit of how to deal with stuff when life challenges us, when we feel disconnected, separate, when we feel small, when we're in our lack, when we're in our fear. We have now this ability to help hold ourselves through it all, no matter what we're going through, no matter what we're experiencing, and also to hold others, you know, if that's the choice that you choose. And in holding others, not in a way that depletes us, but in a way that also feels nourishing for us. Understanding that importance of self-care, and that importance of understanding that we are also worthy of our own love. You know, it's not just for others. We're not just here to hold that space of others. The commitment is so special, because you really do get to show up for you. For every call, you know, the group mastership, there is a weekly call, and it is so special to just have that in your diary, set those boundaries. Like, this is my weekly 90 minutes just for me. A question I get asked a lot is, well, How much time does it take out of my week? And really, it's up to you. That 90 minutes for the call is a given, but how you show up above and beyond that is really up to you. You know, I really recommend that you are practicing daily in some capacity, connecting to Reiki. And at the start, that feels a bit daunting, I know, because you'll feel like, oh gosh, I have to do some kind of self-practice every day. I have to connect to Reiki every day. But it doesn't have to look like a, 45-minute or an hour kind of meditation practice. It's much more than that. It's about bringing Reiki into your day-to-day life. That is so much more important than sitting down and practicing and then going out and just living, your day-to-day really stressed out or really feeling in your fear, etc., etc. The idea is that we're making changes in our day-to-day life so that we not only can be the best Reiki practitioners, the idea is that you don't come out of this being an amazing Reiki master, but you really come out of this being a master of your life. And that's how you feel. So it's up to you how much you are bringing into your practice, how much you're bringing into your journey. But I promise by the end of it, just like today, students were saying, it's just a part of who I am. It's just who I am is Reiki. They are walking around in their day-to-day life and they are seeing things differently. They have a greater sense of connection with all there is. They feel more aligned, more connected, have greater sense of self, have greater boundaries, feel calmer, more peaceful. My gosh, there's so many benefits to it. But ultimately, understanding that Reiki is just a part of who they are. It's not something that they just have to do for 20 minutes a day. And what it really truly means to be Reiki. Because at level 1, we learn how to do Reiki, how to become facilitators of Reiki. And you're learning lots of tools. But as I said at the very beginning of this, through the Reiki Mastership, we get to a point where we start to really let that go and realize that we are Reiki. We really are. We really are the universal life force energy. We are unconditional love. So thank you. And I just wanted to say a big thank you to all my students, past and present. And I hope this has given you a little bit of insight. If you have any questions at all, please reach out. If you are looking at training with me, any of the levels, especially Reiki, Master and Teacher training, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. In love and light.